Thank you for staying with us on democracy and the rule of law. And joining me in the studio today is Barrister Shakiru Omolaja. You're welcome.
Thank you for having me.
I also have with me Barrister Mike Umunan.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
And Barrister Ahmed Badamosi. You're welcome.
Good afternoon.
Thank you came very early this time around.
Thank you so much.
All right. Yes. We're discussing protesters calling on the president to either resume or resign. The president has been away for about 99 days or 100 days right now in a stretch for treatment for an undisclosed ailment. And the question now is, since we're discussing issues from the perspective of the law and the constitution, has the president violated any law since he's been away on medical trip?
That's a very simple one. He has not violated any law.
Okay.
What was expected of him, he transmitted the letter to the National Assembly. Using very beautiful words. Honored Senate President, this and that. My doctors have advised that I should go for additional medical checkup. So he has not violated the law. He has followed the provisions of the Constitution. And remember, it does not have to be there personally. He has a vice. And he has said the vice shall, even if he does not use certain words, because that has been a point of controversy again, whether it should be the person coordinating the affairs, coordinating the economy. The point is, constitutionally, when the president is not available, either by reason of health, vacation, leave, or whatever, the vice president is constitutionally empowered to play all the roles, to exert all the powers exercisable by the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So, going abroad to go and treat himself, he has not violated the Constitution.
All right, Barrister Munan, what's your take? Barrister Shakiri has said he has not violated any law. He has not done anything to the contrary. But here we have protesters telling him to either resume or resign. What do you make of this?
Really, as my colleague has said, the president has not actually violated any law. The Constitution is very clear. It has not given him the number of days that he should be absent from duty. And then the man actually did what he was supposed to do constitutionally and legally. But you see, the president is a public man. He belongs to everybody. And so you can justify the reason that people are calling for him to return to Nigeria or resign by saying that the president is expected to tell Nigerians what is wrong with him. Nobody knows the ailment that the president is suffering from. We have not been told. We are as a public person. He's no more a personal. I mean, he's no more a private person. He's a public person now. As a public person, he is supposed to tell Nigerians.
Even having transmitted powers to the acting president.
He has done that.
He's still public.
Very well. He's still the president of Nigeria. This man is acting. He's not the Nigerian president. Right. So the president remains the president of Nigeria. And the Constitution says in section 146 that once he comes back, he will transmit another letter to the National Assembly telling them that I am back, I'm fit to resume my duty. So he's the president. This other man is the vice president. And so there is, when people argue that there is no vacuum, I don't believe it. There is a vacuum. The vice president is not there. If the vice president is acting as the president, who is the vice president? And the duties of the presidency, the duties of the governance is supposed to be handled by the two of them. And so the Constitution has actually given powers to both the president and the vice president. And in the absence of the president, it means that if the vice president is acting and there's nobody to act as the vice president, as in this case, then there is a vacuum. So what I'm saying here is that Nigerians deserve to know what the challenge is with the health of the president. When they say that we should pray for the president, we cannot just pray a blanket prayer. Nowadays, you have to be specific in your prayers. In fact, some of us who are Christians, we believe in the Bible that when Jesus Christ saw blind Bartimaeus, the man was shouting, have mercy on me, son of David, have mercy on me. Jesus Christ of Nazareth, have mercy on me. Jesus went, he saw that the man was blind. He asked him, what do you want me to do for you? He said that I might receive my sight. He was specific, this sight. You understand? So if Nigeria Nigerians want to pray for the health of the president, they should tell us the line of prayer point. This is what is wrong with the president, so that we pray and say, God, heal the president of this ailment, of this ailment. If you pray a blanket prayer, I can assure you God does not answer blanket prayers again.
All right, so back to the issue of the president either revealing the state of his health or otherwise. Professor Badamosi, do you agree? Professor Munan just said there's a vacuum in government, but some people feel there's no vacuum in government. Somebody's acting in the stead. Do you think there's a vacuum in government as it is now?
Well, he has given a very, very realistic analogy of how the vice president is acting for the president. Now, who takes the position of the vice president? That would obviously mean that there's going to be a shortage of manpower somewhere in there. But in my own opinion, I feel the president's absence is something that can be managed because government is an institution. And that institution can always go on even in the absence of one person. Now, in this instance, the president has been away for quite some time. And as Nigerians, we've not been able to identify any shortcoming in the performance of the government to say the president's absence is the reason for this. Now, if we say the president has been away for quite some time and the government is still running, some people even argue that the performance of the vice president or the acting president as it has even been an improvement on the administration and well-being of Nigerians as a whole. I feel for one, as an individual, that the absence of the president has not in any way shown in the activities of government as it is. Yes. All right,
then why are people... You agree that the absence has not shown any vacuum, so to say. But Amalaja, I see you nodding your head. So why then would a group come up to demand that the president resume or resign? What do you make of this?
I think more groups should come up.
Really?
To insist that the president should return or resign.
Oh, okay. Why do you say this?
I feel very pained. I feel disappointed. I feel let down. Shakiru Omolaja, I campaigned extensively. I campaigned vigorously for Muhammadu Buhari. Why not being a politician myself? I saw a big hope in him. I saw a gentleman who was going to transform Nigeria. I saw a gentleman who was going to lead by example. And I am at very great pain that my dear president has not led by example.
How so?
Thank you. The president, like he has said here, has some ailment which we do not know, which ordinarily we have every right to know what ails our president. And then, of all the disappointment that could be given to us, the president abandoned the millions of Nigeria who risked their lives, who passionately stood by him to vote for him, to go and treat himself outside the shores of Nigeria. I think with due respect to the president and to all his friends, family members, I think that's not patriotic enough. Whatever ails him should be treated in Nigeria. We often hear that Nigeria, and we're always hearing this, that Nigerians are the best all over the world when they are given the opportunity. Medicine, law, military, everywhere, when our police are taken out of Nigeria, they perform, they are given awards. Whatever ails Muhammadu Buhari, the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, is better treated in Nigeria. Even if he's bedridden, let him be in this country. Do you know how much money we are losing? One, by parking the presidential jet wherever it is parked in London, that has been the point of debate. But my problem is this. Should a man of patriotism, Muhammadu Buhari by December will be 75. Who should make a bigger sacrifice for Nigeria other than a man such as Buhari? Now, the question that bothers me again is this. How many of us in this studio, including your good self, including Nigerians that are looking at us, have the opportunity when they are sick to fly to Ghana or even travel to Ghana or Republic of Benin or wherever? Or do you know how many Nigerians are suffering great pains, but they do not even have the money to buy the necessary medicine? And for the government, the #1 citizen of this country, to not take our symbol, everything we have, to not take it to another country, I think that is not patriotic at all. Therefore, more groups should come up to insist that the president should come back and be treated at home to set the example. We are talking of what do you call it now? Medical flight, or the flight of our doctors. Brain drain. How best can you encourage brain drain? The irony of it is that, as he's based in London, the doctors who are attending to him might be Nigerians.
Sure.
Why not bring the facilities? Is it money that we don't have? People who should know have whispered to some of us that the medical facilities available at the presidency, we compare with any hospital in the world. Then if it is the skill, the human skill of some gifted doctors, even if he has to bring Benjamin Cousin of the gifted fingers, let Benjamin Cousin come here and we save some money by way of exchange of the naira. But that, do you know how many ministers have now turned London and Buhari's hospital to a mecca of sorts? Now the media team, Bikadabli and Co, they have all been there. Like Mohammed is always there. The wife is always there. No, I am not happy with that. And I repeat, let more Nigerians come up without violence to insist that our president should either come home or resign. The constitution even allows him to resign on the grounds of health.
Yes.
That if he's not healthy enough, he should make the ultimate sacrifice, not killing himself anyway. He should throw in the towel. What more could a man ask for? What more could General Buhari ask for that the Lord Almighty has not given to him? This is the second time he will be the president of this country. What more? And for the sake of Nigeria, let him resign so that he can adequately, properly look after his health. Nigeria is heads down right now. Like this gentleman said, the acting president, even though constitutionally empowered to do all that the president can do, but the truth is, if it is not original, it is not original. That's my take.
All right.
Yes.
Back to you, Barrister Munan. You said the president should make known the state of his health, the true state of his health. Is there any law which binds him to do this? Because one of his special advisor, Loretta Onochi, says the president is not bound to make known the true state of his health because he's a private citizen who is entitled to his own privacy. At that,
You see, that is not a very nice argument. You see, the fact that there is no law that says the president or a public officer should make known the ailment that he's suffering from. Once you become a public person, so to say, you understand, the issue of privacy is gone. And that is why everything that you are fed with the public funds, taxpayers' money. The treatment he is receiving is from the taxpayers' money, from my money, from your money. You are paying your tax. And that is why it is important for the people that are releasing this money for your treatment to know what is wrong with you. It is very important. I keep saying that there is nowhere any president in the world would be sick, and then the citizens would not be allowed to know what is wrong with the president. It's not done. We have moved to Nigeria is civilized enough to know that in this age that you have all this IT and all that, somebody can easily get through to know certain things. But you know, like so, they have given opportunity to people to begin to speculate and all manner of rumors. The other time, Governor Fayose was saying that the man is on life support. You see, the man was just trying to see whether something will come out. Because how can you keep us in the dark? And then every day we keep saying that the president, some people will just go and say, the president is very well and hearty, his sense of humor is, are we going to be, governed with sense of humor? Let the president come back to Nigeria. Let him come here. Let him rule us. Because we voted for him to stay here, not in London. London is not Nigeria. And so, like my colleague has said, we have enough facilities in this country that can take care of any ailment. It's only that because some people want to be psychedelic and all that, they just want to fly out. There is no ailment that cannot be. The Aso Rock Clinic, as it were, is fully equipped to handle several types of sicknesses and diseases. Do you mean, are they trying to tell us that if somebody does not have money and to fly out, if he's sick, he will die? That's not right. So Nigerians deserve to know why what is wrong with their president. It's not that somebody is happy that the president, no, it's far from it. Somebody came out on television and was saying that people that are saying that the man should resign or come back or do this are playing God. That is wrong. That is very, very wrong. Nobody is playing God here. What we are saying, like Charles Uputa said, he said, even if it were my father, I would have told him, Mr. Man, resign and let us go and manage you in the house. That is a proper thing to do. He has members of the family. If they feel he is a private person, let them tell him to resign. Take him to their private home and manage the man. He has been a president. He is already a president. He will continue to draw from his money throughout his lifetime, as long as he exists, as long as God gives him the power to live. You understand? So, but you see, things must be done properly and in perspective. And that is why we are saying that the president should either come back to Nigeria or resign. So that we don't know, because as my colleague, the acting president, there are some decisions he cannot take. He has the power under the Constitution. The Constitution says that he should perform the functions of the office of the president. But let me tell you this. He does not have the power to do certain things. You see, the thing is that the man would always run to the president to say, okay, I want to do this. Like he visited the other time, you think he went to drink coffee. He went there to ask the president, this is what I want to do. I want to appoint this. I don't want to do this. And the president will give him the go-ahead. Otherwise, he will feel that if the president comes back and he has taken a decision that the president does not like, there might be rancor and all that, and the political problem will start. And that is why we are saying that the moment you are a president, I want to say that, my colleague, I disagree with him that there is nothing that is supposed to be done that is not done. It's not true. If Buhari were to be in this country, several things wouldn't have been the way they are now. I can assure you. This man, Professor Oshibajo, I respect him. He cannot take some decisions because he's feeling that he might step on toes. But Buhari, that I know, would step on toes and would not mind because he wants to make sure that this country moves forward. That's why I'm saying that there is a vacuum. The president must come back or resign so that this man will go up and we have a vice president, and then the man that is the president will be able to take decisions to know that he is in charge.
All right, still talking about the need to know the true state of the health of the president. And my next question now, Barrister Budamosi, is what difference would it make if we know the true state of his health, if he makes it known to Nigerians that, hey, this is what is wrong with me? What difference would it make?
On my own part, while we all feel aggrieved that the actual issues that affect the president's health is not made known to the public, because we all know that the money used in taking care of the president is the money of the country, as it were, that belongs to all of us. I feel, and I personally believe, that the president's health, as to the nitty-gritty of what sickness or ailment he goes through, is personal, irrespective of the fact that he remains the president and a public person.
All right.
Because we cannot say for any reason that he no longer enjoys some sense of family and personal privacy. Yes, we know that he's sick, and that is the reason he's been away from the country for a while. But if we now come and start analyzing the intricate issues of his health, I think it, in my own opinion, touches on his privacy. We look at the last time they came out and said he had issues with the ear. We saw what went
to see an ENT specialist.
We saw what went around in the media, how people hijacked the issue, make a jest of the entire thing. I think coming from that, I think there's an extent to which the people should be made to be aware of what is wrong with the president. Yes, we all know that whatever it is that's taking him away for so long is something that must be serious. And having been satisfied that he's getting the best medical treatment wherever he is, we should expect that there should be some level of family privacy and personal privacy to the extent to which he's receiving treatment.
So you feel he shouldn't make known the true nature of his ailment?
I, for one, don't think it is important, because if the president is hale and hearty, he will be back and performing his duties.
All right,
remember when Babangida was in power and he had to go to, I think, Germany. For what? Radiculo party. The average Nigerian does not know of any ailment or any problem called radiculopathy, which has to do with the big toe of his leg. And because he told Nigerians, I am flying upon your money outside Nigeria to have a small operation in my big toe, I think the right toe, and the doctors call it radiculopathy. What happened? Our lexicon was improved. We knew what our president or head of state was suffering from. And another thing, my friend there was talking about Christians, even though I'm not a Christian or a Muslim, but I do believe that we must know the specifics of certain things. Like when we go to court, it's a good thing, all of us are lawyers. You don't have any, except for the omnibus prayer, that we say, as the court may, any other order that the court may. But you must give specific prayers. And the courts have warned you that the courts are not for the Christmas. What you do not ask for, you will not get. He has given us the example that Bartholomew told Christ that he wanted his sight restored. Christians have what they call prayer points. A lady who is a spinster, who is desirous of having a husband, will not go to the Lord Almighty with 1,000 requests. What will be paramount in her mind is, Lord, give me a good husband. And people who know a problem can join her in praying for a good husband. But here we are kept in the dark. And let me tell you the danger of keeping us in the dark. Okay. Somebody here, my learned friend has mentioned Ayodele Fayose, who has practically misled Nigerians as to his conjectures, to his fantastic suggestions. Oh, the man is bedridden, the man cannot speak, the man is gone. Only for us to realize that all these are unwarranted. But when you say unwarranted, when you should be telling us the truth, for goodness sake, we see pictures of Muhammadu Buhari smiling, shaking hands, videos. Why then, the other day, why I was tempted, seriously tempted, to believe Ayodele Fayose, you know why?
Why?
That the president, allegedly, because I'm still not believing that, made a broadcast in Hausa language to a part of the country. Now, I think the rest of Nigerians deserve an apology from the president, if that were to be true. Is it the president of Arewa or the president of Nigeria? Is the lingua franca of Nigeria Hausa language? So why would and that was when they were saying that he had problem with, that he had speech impairment. If he had no speech impairment, General Buhari speaks phonetics, not just English. He should have addressed us with the English language with which he campaigns throughout Nigeria. So keeping us in the dark is dangerous. Keeping us in the dark is fueling the rumor mill. And remember, when we do not have the truth, we work with what we have. And what we have is also affecting APC. The party, to an extent, is in disarray. Because the number one man, the leader of the battle, the war general, is away. He can't lead any war. And Nigeria needs a general on ground. Why would we need a general on ground? In the Ikorodu where I stay, we were having security issues on Bado. And just as we thought we were getting out of that, in central Lagos, in broad daylight, they have discovered tunnels of kidnappers. Other areas, Boko Haram is still there, people are still fighting. The Niger Delta is not totally down. And we need a president who can sit down at his table. Yes, the buck stops on his table, but who can actively command. You go this, and who receives report, who works on the report, who now delegates power to the vice president. You go and do this. So we have an absentee president. That is not good for Nigeria. It is not good for the image of Africa. I'll tell you, Nelson Mandela, and I think I've said this here or in another forum, when he was sick, he was not flown out anywhere. He was treated in South Africa with the best hands that South Africa could afford. We are not saying, like my colleagues have said, that the president for the sake of Nigeria should cut his life short. No. What we are saying is that examples are better than precepts. Anybody can preach. Sure. But you should lead by example. When we are talking about flight to our money, the naira that is getting weaker and weaker by the day. Now look at how many persons, how many Nigerians, even out of curiosity, people who can afford the money, but who really do not have any business going to London, they are not going to London to go and say that it is true, that the president is alive, or they are like the package us during Yadua. You know, 6 months before Yadua's death was announced, an online newspaper in November had published that Yadua was dead. So we want an end to this dangerous speculation. We want Muhammad, for goodness sake, when they said he made the broadcast, this is the age, this is the digital age, not just computer. Can't we have the opportunity of video calling, video conference? Can't the gentleman call some of the popular televisions, call your station in video conference? The whole world will see this is our president talking. I think Nigerians again deserve an apology from our dear President Muhammadu Buhari, anytime he comes back, no, such example should never be encouraged again. How do you encourage our doctors? And another thing, sir, gentlemen, if we were to know what hails our president, some Nigerians may not be noise makers.
Yes.
But they are gifted. Nigeria is a champion of herbal medicine practice. Some Nigerians might just listen. They will not even come on air. They will send a message to the first family, either to the wife or whoever is close. Why don't you try these leaves? Why don't you try this and that? The president will be cured of his ailment. If the president is ill, what is it? Look, whatever we thought we don't know, the doctors that are managing him, are they not human beings?
Yes.
Is it not possible that they will leak what ails the president, even also make money to some other press? And then why are we being disgraced like this? Because I see it as a national slap to the entirety of Nigerians that we are spending so much, humongous amount of money. The presidential jet is packed where it is not needed. The president is there, and all those who should be here fighting security, fighting economy, fighting better life for Nigerians are all going regularly to London. We deserve public apologies from all of them.
All right. The President Muhammadu Buhari, on Saturday at Abuja House in London, received members of the presidential media team, reassuring them that there was tremendous improvement in his health. Femi Adesina, the special advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, who was part of those who visited President Buhari in Abuja, in London rather, said this in a statement issued in Abuja on Saturday. He said the president spoke when he received the presidential media team led by Alhaji Lai Mohammed, the Minister of Information and Culture, accompanied by Femi Adesina, the special advisor on media and publicity, and Malam Garba Shehu, senior special assistant on media and publicity. Other members on the team included Loretta Onoche, the personal assistant on digital and online media, and Mrs. Abike Dabiri-Rewa, the senior special assistant on diaspora matters. Additional quoted the president as saying that although he wished to return home, he could only return to Nigeria based on his doctor's advice. He quoted the president as saying he has learned to obey his doctor's order rather than the one issuing the orders. Here he says the doctor is absolutely in charge and he feels he could go home, but the doctors are in charge and he has learned to obey doctor's order rather than be obeyed. That's the president being quoted there. And the president is saying he wishes to come home, but his doctors are saying otherwise. Don't you think at this point we need to be patient?
For how long? You see, well, I'm not going to doubt whether it was what the president said. You see, this age, the president can talk to us. Have they ever shown us video that the president was talking?
Of this,
the
president yesterday interacting with his media team.
Very well. Good. Now, if the president is strong enough to come back home, we have good medical practitioners in Nigeria that can handle him. Why not return?
You think so?
Very well. He should return. He should forget about those people that are interested in making more money and more money. As the longer the president stays in UK, the more money UK gets from Nigeria. And you see all these issues of people gathering together to go and visit the president. It makes me sick. It is irritating. Why should people just gather themselves to go and visit the president and sit down and they talk and then they come back and tell us as if we are mumus? Just like these people are saying our mumu is don't do. Eh? It's not right. It's not right. You make the world to see us as people who are very unserious human beings, people who are low in intellect and all that. Whereas Nigerians are very intelligent people. Nigerians have people that can reach any peak in life. So I feel that if the president in his own conviction is sure, I have my body, I know what my body can do. I know the extent of it. So let me come. That is why I'm saying that this doctor's issue is political. It's political. If the president is strong enough to come back to Nigeria to rule, let him come back. There is no point to say that it's because the doctors are saying I should not come back. Okay, what stops the doctors from coming to Nigeria to treat him? What is the instrument? What is the equipment that cannot be flown to Asoro to treat the president? What is so big about staying in UK? For goodness sake. Let the president come back. Whatever they want to transport to Nigeria, let it come. Let the jet come back to stay in Nigeria so that all the money they are earning there will not continue to accumulate. There is no Britain or British that will not continue to tell the president, stay here. We like your money. We want to make sure that we continue to look from the Nigerian economy and all that. So the president should come back. Nigerians want him back here. We want to see him. He is our president. We did not vote him to go and stay in UK. No. All the people that go to meet him, they are just taking Nigerians' money out to go and enrich United Kingdom, and then we continue to be impoverished. If you get into the street to see the extent of poverty that is making Nigeria, then you will sympathize with us. So the president should come back. In fact, the mere appearance of the president in Nigeria will stabilize some things. Some of these people going about they will cool down. So we want him here.
All right. Do you want him here? Against his doctor's orders?
Of course. We want the president back. The president's absence has been felt, whether we accept it or not. But you see, like we have all said, the president's health is also very important. If the president feels, because a lot of agitations has been on from, we've not even seen him, we don't even know if we are being deceived, if he's truly on life support and all of that. But from the clips I saw yesterday, the president was on his feet and he was having conversations with people, and it didn't seem to me like someone that was not aware of the reality of his environment. I, for one, feel that in as much as the agitations for the call of the president back in the country, it's also very important that whatever ailment the president is suffering from, there will be no use putting pressure for his return if he's not properly treated. Now, if the president is back in the country, and because, like they have said, he has refused to follow his doctor's advice, there will be reason for him to go back again, to continue.
There will still be agitations again.
The absence of the president, in my own opinion, also takes away the pressure. If the president is fighting an ailment, having adequate rest time is also important. Right. Now, we say, yes, I am totally in support of the argument that there shouldn't be any reason why the president should be receiving treatment in another country, because we are also aware of the amount of money allocated from the budget to equip the hospital in the presidential villa. So there should not be any reason why we'll say there's shortage of equipment or personnel in that clinic. Now, if they have to fly doctors to the country to treat him, they don't need to publicize it. We don't need to know. Expatriates come into Nigeria in millions, do whatever they have to do, go back, some even live here. So if the president has to be away out of the country, it might not necessarily be, in my own opinion, it might not necessarily be because of shortage of manpower or equipment to treat him. But I also feel he needs time off. He needs to relax, make sure that he's resting adequately. It is good enough that we've seen him on TV yesterday, and that alone clears the doubt of so many people as to the actual position of the president. He's an aged man, we all know, we voted for him. So if he's undergoing treatment, at that age, the success rate would definitely be slower. So we all need to accept those reality on ground and give him time. Because the Constitution has stipulated that it is only in a situation where he is permanently incapable that we can be talking about impeaching or ensuring that he resigns or replacing him and all of that. But this is a man that has gone from not being able to appear on TV to appearing on TV, standing on his feet to welcome or usher in his guests and all of that. So I, for one, think there's an improvement. There's an improvement, and if the improvement continues, I'm very sure the president is not happy about the agitations calling for his return when he knows fully well that he should be performing his duty here in Nigeria. So for me, I think Nigerians should be a little more patient, and we should also realize that these agitations too might also be fueled by different interests. Yes, so I would not want us to follow the bandwagon of agitations that we do not know the basis or the foundation behind it. So I urge Nigerians to be a little more patient.
All right, need to be a little more patient. Brasha Omolaje, at this point, do you think we need to beam a searchlight? This administration needs to beam a searchlight on the health sector, the nation's health sector.
Let me get emotional and say, for this question, may the Lord Almighty bless you. How about whatever ails the president? Let us assume that it has never ailed anybody in this country. And that now it has ailed our president, he suffered from this peculiar ailment. Then that might be a divine arrangement that necessary medical equipment, laboratory equipment will not be brought into Nigeria, into Africa, so that even when the president becomes 120 and he eventually goes back home, such equipment will be available to posterity, to Nigerians that are going to survive him. Maybe that is the reason. But maybe the president is missing the opportunity to take Nigeria, to take Africa to the next higher level in the provision of medical facilities by staying in London. Let him import the entire facilities, wherever it's kept now, to a part of Abuja, to a part of Nigeria. It may not even be Abuja. It may be somewhere, so that whoever has such an ailment does not have the money to go to London or does not even have a passport, the person will still be kept alive. Therefore, your question is most relevant. There's every need to beam a searchlight on the medical or the health sector. I'll tell you another reason. Do you know how many Nigerians travel to India on medical tourism? Do you know how many Nigerians go to Germany? Do you know how many Nigerians go to other places? Maybe those who go to Dubai only go there for holidaying, for sightseeing, for fun. What exactly is wrong with us? Nigeria is on a regular basis, yearly, producing doctors. Doctors that, by whatever measure, are actually gifted, intelligent. Sure. But there's no empowering environment for them. Let me tell you why I am sad over the absence of our president. There's more to it than meets the eye. There's another speculation. Remember when the president came back on his second trip, and he said to Nigerians, let me say, he confessed to Nigerians that he had never been as sick as he felt.
Ever.
That I've never been this sick before. Then the rumor mill had it that there was a possibility that he was poisoned. So if he was poisoned, if security report, because look, my sister, no matter how much we pretend, the fact that we are lawyers does not know we know everything.
Yes.
The fact that we are lawyers does not mean that we know everything. There might be security reasons where President Buhari cannot return to Aso Rock.
Yes.
Maybe the place is so prepared, is so jinxed, is so penetrated that if we were to get back there, he will die. Let me again exaggerate. Remember that President Goodluck Jonathan, while he was in office, his younger brother, who, when he visited the home, the younger man told me, oh, it's not feeling fine. Come with me to Aso Rock. What happened to the younger man? He died in Aso Rock. So, you may not know, because some of the greatest words you could ever wish for your enemy is to have an enemy within. You have heard of palace schools, where your loyalists are going to be the ones to execute you. I therefore sympathize with Mr. President. But you talk about occupational hazard. Being assassinated on the job, being poisoned, may be part of the sacrifice that leaders have to take. We were talking about slave trade. Because you must understand this in perspective to know why some of us will remain very angry until the president returns. We were talking of slave trade. It took an American who was not a victim of slave trade to fight for the annihilation, for the stoppage of slave trade. Then slave trade stopped. Then colonialism came, the partition of Africa. Then colonialism is as in British or Europeans coming here, taking over governance and really ruling us. Colonialism is gone. That is in theory. There's neo-colonialism. Our leaders being treated abroad is neo-colonialism. Remember this joke about they call something green visa lottery or whatever. That in those days your fathers were forcibly taken outside Africa. Today you will apply to become a slave. I'm sure people understand what I'm talking about. When is Africa going to be free? Remember, how many Nigerians have been taken out of Nigeria alive, only to bring them back dead? Simbiat Abiola left the shores of Nigeria. She was brought back dead. Nigerians are beginning to Google all this. So we say, Mr. President, may the Lord Almighty heal you and take care of your enemies. Come back home. You are the father of this nation. You are an absentee father. When the father is absent, a lot of things may happen to your children. But the mere fact that Baba, you and your father is at home will make some children sit up. So, Mr. President, sir, please come back. Your enemies, by the time you return, they will not be alive.
Sure.
All right, very
I say amen.
All right, so let's just round up this. What do you have to add to that?
Very well. Exactly, I want to align myself with my colleague. We need the president to come back here so that we can also, by reason of why he traveled, beam a searchlight into our health sector. We really need to equip our hospitals. We need to train people in the relevant specialized areas to be able to have the necessary input that they go out there to get. The necessary treatment, they go out to India, they go out to UK, US to get. We need to get our hospitals equipped to that standard.
Spent over in the United Kingdom, is it spent in
Nigeria?
Nigeria?
You can imagine what it would do to the economy of Nigeria. So what we need the Minister of Health is aware of what is going on. The only challenge I now have is whether he knows the ailment, because maybe there are some few people that know what is wrong. But if the Minister of Health does not know what is wrong with the president, then it's too bad. So he should be able to find out what is the challenge and then get all the necessary equipment, the necessary medical facilities to Nigeria. Equip Nigerian hospitals. We have so many specialist hospitals. Equip them to be able to handle certain ailments that are not familiar, that are not peculiar, that are not common. These ailments, we know some of them, they don't happen to the cripple on the road and all that. They happen to the high and the mighty. So let them equip our own hospitals to be able to handle, to take care of this, so that some of our money can continue to remain here.
All right, your final words on this particular issue before we move on.
The country's health sector is in disarray, if you ask me. Aside the president, we have individual private Nigerians that travel across the world, like my fellow panelists had said, for treatment on minor ailments that could have been operated or treated here in Nigeria. But aside the fact that the health system is in a mess, a lot of Nigerians who can afford it would rather take their gamble or risk the chances of success outside the country than giving an opportunity to the Nigerian doctor who has what it takes. This is because the health sector has actually been negligent over the years, and a lot of people have lost their lives for very minor issues that ordinarily shouldn't have been life-taking. But while we want to all now seek for the return of the president, I for one think the president has no business being outside the shores of the country for more than a month. But we are under pressure. The